Happy Tuesday. So, are you wondering what some mistakes you might be making in your business when it comes to creating value? Well, here I am, me and Cordera have decided to go live every Tuesday and Thursday because we want to help you expand that God-sized vision you have for building your business, right? And we know that a lot of times people need support in what they're doing. And so we have decided to have these conversations, expansive conversations, to just bring you in and be a fly on the wall on some of the conversations that we have to expand and grow the things that we are doing. And so today is a big day. We have our first Holistic Health and Wellness Networking experience in South Florida. We had one in South Carolina a few weeks ago. And this week, not this week, but today, we are having our first Holistic Health and Wellness Networking experience in Fort Lauderdale, Florida at the Tower Club. If you are here in South Florida, you do not want to miss this. We have an amazing lineup. Not only do we have health modality stations, we have a stretch lounge station, we have compression therapy, we have some other things I can't remember. We have so many amazing holistic businesses being showcased. We have our sponsor, Atlas Clinics, who is using amazing sound wave technology to take your health to the next level. We are having a preview of the newest edition of the Feel Well magazine. We are going to have a really special announcement at this event, so you'll be the first to hear what we have going on. And this event is also open to the community. If you're looking for different health and wellness businesses that you can incorporate into your lifestyle, this is the spot because everyone here is phenomenal. They are vetted and they are amazing, and that is why they are a part. How are you, lady?
I'm feeling great. I'm laughing because Instagram never told me that you were live, so I don't actually know how long you were here. I was waiting for the pop-up, and then something said, just check because she has to be live already.
Instagram is sneaky, man. Instagram.
But I was happy. I was feeling so excited because I just saw the clip that Dr. Lauren posted from Feel Well magazine's podcast, and it was so exciting to see both of our members having this like high level conversation that we had the opportunity to facilitate. And so, it just makes me so excited to be facilitators of these type of conversations that can really change the game of someone's health. So that made me excited. And they're talking all this geeky, nerdy science talk. And so I just was like, oh my God, that's so exciting. Because that's something that I would listen to.
Yes. Anyone who knows someone with MTHFR, check out the two posts before this, because Dr. Lauren collaborated with the Holistic Business Network, and I'm glad she did because both her and Dr. Ware are on there, and it's a phenomenal conversation. If you are dealing with that, I know a number of people that are diagnosed with MTHR,
MTHFR. I don't know much about it, so I'm looking forward to digging in.
I want to dig in more too. I'm excited. Okay, so that was released yesterday, just a snippet. But I believe the full episode is on YouTube, right? Under the Phil podcast channel. Okay, so today, welcome. Let me say welcome to a few people. Hey, Phoenix Energy Wellness. Hey, Wes. What's up, Wes? Hey, Conaway by Linda. And then we have Early Vibes, DPT. Oh, that's a physical therapist, isn't it? DPT. I believe so. So welcome. Hello. Yes, Doctor of Physical Therapy, because I know Dr. Lauren has that at the end of her name. Hey, Raymond. Okay. So we're having a conversation today about some of the mistakes that we are making when it comes to bringing value out here into the marketplace, right?
Specifically, wellness businesses are making.
Yes. So when I say we, I'm usually referring to wellness businesses, but yes, that wellness businesses are making out here. So how do you want to kick this off, Q? Because I know I'm always kicking it off. How do you want to kick it off?
Y'all don't see what Michelle just did right there. She tried to kick it off to me because she don't know what she want to start with. So she gonna try to kick it off to me. I don't know what I'm starting with. This is
That's
your
a
topic.
This is the power of two. So no, let me tell you why I chose this topic, guys. So we have a new member in our network, and she's here. She came into town. So we're in Fort Lauderdale. She flew in from Connecticut. And I said, this is a smart girl, lady. She's not a girl, she's a lady. This is a smart lady because she saw the value in the network. We have an event tonight, which I was just talking about before Q jumped on. We have a big event tonight. It's going to be fire. I'm telling you, if you're a wellness business, or even if you're looking for wellness like modalities, you need to be in the room because it's going to be so good. So she flew down and we got to meet her in the flesh and just really have a good time getting to know her better at dinner last night. And I just really was thinking of the fact that she flew down here. There was another word I wanted to use, couldn't think of it, so I'm going to use basic words. Cabbage juice isn't kicked in yet. It's about to kick in. And I was just like, you know what? I love when people see value in things and they go for it. Like, she's a go-getter. She makes things happen. And this is how you create like change. This is how you move in momentum. These are the things that you need to do. And it's so funny because I'm going to share another story, the complete opposite. So this young lady flew in from Connecticut. We met up with her. She scheduled dinner with us. We got to really know her. What she does is amazing. She's a powerhouse. And then she's going to be a part of our event tonight. So if you're coming to the event, you'll get to meet her because she's amazing. But I was having another conversation with someone yesterday, and I didn't tell you this, Q. I was having another conversation with someone who lives down here in South Florida. They are in Palm Beach, and I'm not going to say any names, but she was saying she would love to like get some, talk to us more and get some business coaching. Okay, great. So I said, hey, when, let's schedule something. And then I said, actually, we have an event tonight. She's in South Florida. They're like 40 minutes away. She said, oh, I have to wake up early the next day at 6 o'clock. I'm thinking I wake up before 6 o'clock every day. I go to bed too late. But I was like, for one time, and then she actually said she wants to meet high-end people. And I was like, high-level connections. And I was like, I am giving you this opportunity. That is what is going to be here tonight at our event, are going to be high-level connections. So I said, how are you going to meet? She was like, well, I like to go to bed early and we have to, and she had a lot of excuses. And I said, well, you're not going to meet anyone if you don't leave your house. And she only has a drive. We have someone else who's on a complete different spectrum who took a plane from up north and flew down here, spending the night, engulfing in the environment, all the things. So that just tells you, we're talking about value, but I think it's when how people perceive value, right? One person perceives such high value in what she sees us doing, and we're not doing it for us. We're doing it to help other businesses really flourish, and she can see that. And then someone else might be seeing it as, oh, I'm trying to get something, but no, I am trying to help you. Like, I am facilitating these events. You don't know what I go through to create this experience for people. So, and I don't do it because I want to shine. I do it because I'm like, I know this is going to help transform people. People are going to meet connections in this room that's going to transform their business. So I got on a tangent. Reel me back in, Q. Reel me back in because I had to share that.
Well,
It's
so
so funny.
tell me what was the young lady who flew in? What was the value that she saw so that people can understand,
Mhm.
wellness business owners and entrepreneurs can understand what mistakes they might be making? Like why did you want to tell that story? Tell me why that story was important that you thought you should be sharing it with others.
Hmm. So you asked, what did the young lady who flew in see? So
Mm-hmm.
she saw that we have her target audience,
Mm-hmm.
right? He saw that she wasn't going to be a part of something where she was going to have to do as much sifting through. Like we had who she wants to target. All she has to do now is start the conversation. So she says, I want to be in that room. It's very smart. So that was one
Mm-hmm.
target audience.
Yeah, she did say that. She did. There was something she specifically said that I don't remember now about the target audience, but okay. And so one of the ways that she identified that we had her target audience was, um, to my delight, she talked about how the pricing of our membership
Mm.
helped her to identify that we were people that she wanted to be around. And so, to some who are not ready or don't understand, but they're learning and growing, just as I did, as we did, they want to make themselves accessible to everyone by having low pricing. And our pricing isn't exuberant yet. Our pricing is where we are. Um, but one of the things that interested her about becoming a member was that it wasn't $20 or $100. You know, we started out at, and this is for wellness businesses, right? We started out the membership when Michelle started founding membership. It's important for everyone to know the founding membership rate was 150.
150.
The founding
Mm-hmm.
membership rate was 150. And
For
we
the
attracted
year.
some great people. Hmm? For the
For the
year.
year. Yeah.
And we attracted some great people at that level. But as we continue to grow, the value increased. And it's important for us to identify and determine what value is, right? But we'll come back to that. So as we've been growing, we have a model. We've increased those prices, I would like to say 5 times, over
Mm-hmm.
the past 3 years. Um, and so one of the factors for her was that our people in our membership, who is her target audience, are willing to invest this amount of money. So they will also be the type of people, the type of mindsets that will invest in the services that she offers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or higher end or higher level products and services. So that is something that you want to look at when you're investing your time, your energy, and your money. So I thought we were going to get to that at the end, but I would definitely say that one of the mistakes wellness businesses are making to create value, actually, I'm going to leave that for number two. One of the mistakes wellness businesses are making to create value is not understanding what value is. That's number one.
Mm.
So, not understanding what value is. And so, I always like to define words because we use words haphazardly because we learned them in elementary school and then we forget what they mean, and our subconscious brain just sends the words to the top, but sometimes we forget what the words mean. So while I'm bringing up what the dictionary says about value, what do you think value is?
Mm. Value is Golly. Um,
What do you,
a
first, let's start
perceived,
with, hmm?
I think is perceived. So it's an individual perception. A perceived, how do I put this?
Oh, let me,
Standard,
my
like it's a
phone's so
perceived standard that you have for something.
a perceived standard that you have for something.
Let
I'm
me see.
writing that down. Oh, are you looking it up? Because my computer is about to die. So yeah, it looks like you're looking up on your
I'm about
computer.
to look it
Okay,
up.
good.
Yeah. Value definition.
And I don't want to
Let's
move
see if I'm
the
close, y'all.
recorder.
So,
Hold on,
the,
wait. What did you say? You said perceived standard?
the perceived standard you have for something.
The perceived standard you have for something. Okay, go ahead.
So the dictionary says that, oh, I'm close. A person's principles or standards of behavior.
Mhm.
One's judgment of what is important in life. Okay, that's
Well,
the
hold on, hold on,
second
hold on, hold on. A person's principles or standards.
of behavior. Person's
And then
principles
what was,
or standards of behavior. And then
and
it
what was
has
the next thing?
the colon, then it has semicolon, one's judgment of what is important in life.
Thank you.
hmm So that's actually the second definition of value. It stood out to me more than the first. The first one says the regard that something is held to deserve, the importance, worth, or usefulness of something.
The
But when it's
importance,
worth
worth,
or
or
usefulness
usefulness of
of something,
something.
that's the definition of value. So I was close. I did good.
So you know why I love the what you have brought to the table here is because it actually ties me back into a actually many of the conversations that we've been having over these past couple of weeks in these expansion conversations, but it brings me back to two. One was last week when I said stop getting mad at your friends and family for not supporting you. Like, I don't want my friends and family to support me. It actually annoys me when my friends and family come to support me because I know they're not my target audience. So I do not want people who are not my target audience filling up the space where I have come to have impact and make money. I would rather them not come,
I
right?
love it.
So yeah, I'm here to make impact and make money. And if I know they look at me as crazy Quadera anyway, and they're just like, I don't want that energy in the space. Energy feeds off of energy. Yes, I might transform them in that moment, but the likelihood of that is not likely because familiarity breeds contempt. So
Yes.
um, the second conversation that comes up for me is I'm thinking about this conversation that we had on Tuesday about the man whose energy changed when you got on the phone with him.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, oh, that's not worth my investment. And so understanding value, right? So you said that the dictionary says a person's principles or standards of behavior. And one of the things we talked about for him was that he sounded kind of snarky and smug when you mentioned high value. He was like, oh, I know you're going to have these high level or high value people there. So that is not of importance for him. And so what
hmm
happens a lot of time with wellness businesses, because we're in the business of wanting to help and save and transform lives, we tend to want to approach people who have no interest in wellness, no interest in getting healthy, no interest in transforming because we have a vision of transforming lives. But there are people, the thing we forget is there are people who are already interested in saving their life. But
hmm
instead, we want to reach out to the people who have no interest because we feel bad and we have this whole victimhood mentality. So, if we have defined value now, and value is based on a person's principles or standards of behavior, Why would you, as a wellness business, not approach and pour into the people who already consider wellness a standard of living? Why would you
Exactly.
not invest your time and your energy and your money in people who are already investing their money, their time, and their energy in wellness? And
Mm-hmm.
stop going for these people that cause you to work higher. You know, they call it, I mean, work higher, work harder, because I was thinking about a tree, the fruit at the top of the tree. Why not go for the fruit that is already ripe, prime, and ready? The second definition you said of value is one's judgment of what is important in life. This is how you create value. You need to understand what is important to the customer. But when you're looking for the customer, the target audience, you are not looking for who you can make see your value.
Mm-hmm.
There are folks who already find wellness valuable. Your key is not to make them see your value. Your key is to stand out in the marketplace and be unique. I tend to lead or I can't find the word, but like lean into the area of uniqueness. Like, what is making your business, or if you're a solo entrepreneur, what's making your personal brand unique and stand out in the marketplace? So each business should have its own fingerprint, its own DNA, you know what I mean? Its own lifeblood. And then the third one you said, which was actually the first one in the dictionary, but it was the last one you said, the importance, worth, or usefulness of something. The importance, worth, or usefulness of something. So 3 mistakes wellness businesses are making to create value. I said the first thing we need to do in order to discuss the first thing we need to do is to identify value. So the first mistake is that most wellness businesses do not understand value. They are trying to fulfill their own value. As Myron Golden says, past perceived value. You're trying to fulfill your own past perceived voids, not value, past perceived void of how maybe your mom passed away from cancer, or your dad was addicted to alcohol or whatever. So here you are trying to fix the situation by saving someone who's addicted to alcohol, who's still enjoying alcohol and don't have no desire to stop drinking alcohol. But you want to take your time to sell that person. But there's a person who has already hit the bottom ground and is ready to surrender, and who says, I'm ready, but you not out here talking to them, so they don't know that you're talking to them. So they looking at other people, and you're over here trying to convince somebody, spending your ad dollars, your time, all of that on somebody who doesn't have an interest. They do not have an interest. So understand your value and understand who you're valuable to, and understand what is valuable to this audience that already wants what you have. Girl, I don't know why that got me fired up. It got me hyped up.
I'm gonna add to that real quick, because I am the definition of that person you talk about who's ready for all the things, because I'm already deep down in the health and wellness hole. So anything new and innovative, I'm like, oh, I'm for it. Tell me about it. I do not need, a lot of times, I do not need you to give me a whole, like, I usually
Ooh, that
have a
is
good
your pet
overview
peeve.
of the information
Yeah.
because I am deep in this world. When you start to go into like presentation mode and I'm ready, like
Basics.
I'm ready to give you my money and you are presenting a 10, 15 minute, I'm like, you know what? I'm no longer interested. We got to pick up our emotional intelligence, guys. We got to kick it up a notch. You got to read the person you're talking to, who your audience is, because that frustrates me too, just as much as not knowing who your audience is. When you have your audience, you almost like discard them because you are now doing a presentation they didn't need to hear. They just ready to have the results that they already have heard of maybe what you're doing. You have it a little bit
I
different and
got
they're
an
like, oh, let me try it.
example. I
Mhm.
got an example. At that same farmer's market that we were at the other day, a young man approached me and was telling me about the soaps he was selling. And
Mhm.
so he was a young man, so I ain't bothering him too much, right? I was happy and proud that he was just out there doing his thing. So um but he approached me about the soaps, and I said, okay. And so I asked him, or I told him, I said, I typically buy my soaps because we don't use like regular soap, like, you know, regular soaps in the house. So I was like, I typically buy my soaps from Whole Foods, or I forgot what I said, or somewhere else. And I was like, they're typically only like $5. How much are your soaps? And he was like, oh, $15. And he started to tell me about all the things it does and all the different things and why you should
I
use
was
these
standing next
soaps.
to you. I was
And
standing next to you, cute, and I walked away because I was like, "Oh, this is too much."
I was
Because I already knew
thinking,
what he was selling was really good, so I was like,
yeah, but I was thinking to myself, I just told you that I typically buy these kinds of soaps, but I buy them from Whole Foods or wherever. So I didn't need to go to what you're the example you're giving. I didn't need the entire educational lecture on why these soaps are important and how you shouldn't use perfume soaps and the Doves and all the things. I'm already an educated consumer, and I told you I'm an educated consumer because I told you I typically buy these every month at a different location for cheaper. So I didn't need, so that's why for me, I went straight to the price. Just tell me how much it is, right? So at that moment, he should have probably focused in on, oh, actually, he should have focused in on a conversation, an expansion conversation we had a couple weeks ago, where he should have asked me questions at that moment. Why do you, besides the price, what is it that you like from those soaps? Is it something that you haven't found in a soap yet that you would like?
"Mhm,
You know what I mean? And
mhm,
then he could have
mhm."
directed me to the soap that has what my other soaps I typically buy are missing. So anyway, I just wanted to add that story to what you were saying because it
No,
was a great example.
that was a good example. Yeah,
Okay.
really good. And asking questions, I think we don't remember to do that. I'm guilty of that. Like sometimes I get in question mode and sometimes I'm more in like my rational brain where I just start like feeding information. Um, but asking questions is key to
But that's
really
how,
getting,
that's how you feed information that's unnecessary. So
yeah.
you feed a client unnecessary information, and what typically what I've seen happen, because I've done it years ago, is you typically end up offering information that will actually repel the client or customer,
Yep.
because
Yes.
now you're overfeeding information, and now you might tell them something that actually turns them off, that they didn't even, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, trust. Let me tell you, that's one thing. So I always have to talk about my experience in network marketing because it has taught me so much. They used to say, oh my goodness, there's a term we had like you share something and then you just zip it. Like
Mm,
just you need to just be quiet for the rest of the
mm.
time and let people talk. Learn to listen. You don't have to feel like you're always having to talk. So always having that consciousness to pause, ask ask a question, pause and listen. Hear what people have to say. And you're right. A lot of times I have watched people talk so much that they talked people in and out of something at the same.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my
Can
gosh.
if anyone, I'm gonna start asking this because I do know that this is something, but I want to ask if you would be interested in how to like a how to sell more class or
Mm.
workshop or something in your wellness business, like as a wellness business owner, how can you sell more? What are some of the tips and hacks that you should do? Let us know in the comments right now as you're watching, and when you watch this later on. So if you want to know more about how to sell more as a wellness business owner, let us know that you're interested in that in the comments.
Let me say,
So the
haters,
second,
few people because I think you might know some of them. Welcome Beats by ND1. Welcome Shawnee Days. Welcome Your Latin Cairo. Welcome Sir Brock Miami. I think that's who you know, right? Welcome Selfmade 242 and welcome the Craig Hazel. Okay. Got a great group on today. Continue,
I
Q.
knew a few of those people, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so then number 2, now that we have identified and determined what value is, now we can go to number 2, which I thought would have been number 3. But
Ooh,
number
mosquito.
2 based
Sorry, y'all. Mosquito flying in my face. I'm in South Florida. It's going to get me. And I missed it. Okay. Sorry.
Michelle be cracking me up, child. I really love seeing your reactions on camera because these are reactions that only people in your presence get to see.
I know. The craziness.
But
I'm a
then
bit
when
crazy,
people
y'all.
online get to see it too, it makes me laugh. Mosquitoes are flying around me all the time. I just let them go and I be like, and I'm like, when I get off this live, I'm gonna get you. But now, Michelle, you were like,
Mm-mm.
oh, mosquito.
Yo, these mosquitoes, I've gotten so many bites in the past few days. I'm like, oh no, if I see one coming near me, I'm killing it. I'm trying to anyway. All
Your
right.
reactions.
Sorry for the distraction,
Okay.
y'all.
All right. So number 2, based on the story you were telling about our newest member who flew in from another state
Mm-hmm.
for this event that is happening tonight, and just to meet up with us and go to dinner and all of that. One of the things that she said that really drew her in was our price structure.
Mm-hmm.
And so, um, the membership, the current value, the current price of the membership is about $2,000. You know, for pricing psychology, it's $3 off, $19.97, but it's about $2,000, right? So that is one of the things that wellness businesses also get caught up in. It's price structure again, because most wellness business owners come into wellness business if they're starting a small business or a solo business. We're not talking about the big wellness conglomerates. We're talking about everyday people like you and I want to start a business. So they come into it with a mindset of, how many people can I save? I want to
Mm-hmm.
save people. And so in their mind, based on where they have been in life, and again, based on that past perceived void, that is typically how people price. And so if they come from an impoverished environment, let's say for example, you know, they come from a very economically challenged environment, and everybody got diabetes, and you can only buy you know, fruit juice at the corner store, and it ain't really fruit juice, and so on and so forth. They typically price it so low because they're trying to meet those people right there.
Mm-hmm.
And they think that's the low hanging fruit. They
Mm-hmm.
think that the people at the bottom is what it means to be low hanging fruit. But low hanging fruit doesn't mean who's at the bottom of the totem pole. Low hanging fruit means whose mind is already ripened and ready. That's what low hanging means.
Yes.
So to
Mm.
shift your mindset to whose mind is already ready, ripened and ready to buy. That
Yeah.
is what low hanging fruit is in any business, but in your wellness business as well. It has nothing to do with how low you make the pricing. So recondition your mind for that.
So
So she was excited by our pricing and was like, that let me know that you ladies are in serious business. Can you imagine people out here thinking, I love when she said that. Can you imagine that people out here trying to get people, and I'm just, you know, I'm generalizing, but $20, $50, $100, and they think that they're going to get everybody because they're so affordable. they're so low. Affordability is a construct of your mind, not of the mind, but of your
Mm.
mind.
Yep.
Because a
Because
millionaire or a 100 millionaire or a trillionaire, a billionaire might think, for depending on what the thing is they're buying, a billionaire might think $1 million is affordable.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna think it's expensive because I'm not a billionaire. But I love the question when you're looking at pricing. I love the question of like, okay, imagine, let's say something costs $2,000 and you're like, oh, that's expensive. It's $2,000. But I love when people flip the question around, um, and say stuff like, or think in terms of, if I don't spend this $2,000, how much money am I going to continue to lose? You know, versus, oh, I gotta spend $2,000. It's how much
Mm-hmm.
am I going to lose by not spending this $2,000? You know,
Mm-hmm.
how much will I gain from spending this $2,000? So pricing is mistake number two. What you want to say about that?
Listen, you have taught me well because I have seen with my own very eyes what happens when you do
Mm,
not price yourself at the value you deserve. So it will attract, like, it depends on who you're trying to attract, right? So if you're trying to attract certain people, high level people, having it priced where any and everybody can come in and not making it exclusive,
mm-hmm.
not going to serve you well. What
That
it's going to
reminds
do,
me.
I'm going to tell you from experience, it's going to give you a headache because you're
Mm.
going to have people that came in at a low price and they are going to give you a bigger headache than someone who pays 7, 8, 9, 10 times as much. They're going to give you more of a headache.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Yeah.
everyone, but there's going to be one, maybe two.
And you know what? Everybody, I don't want to say it like this, but I do want to say it like this. Everybody does have their headaches at
Mhm.
every price point. They all
Yeah.
have their headaches. But the headache feels a lot different. The headache feels a lot different.
When you are like, when you undervalued yourself and then you have a headache on top of it, now you really like, oh my gosh, this headache is a
Yeah.
migraine. Like,
And then if you get a headache or a migraine, at least you can afford to go get some red light therapy, and
you can
you know what I'm saying?
afford to do a spa day. You can
Yeah,
afford
and try and deal with that headache or
to-
whatever. So,
Yes.
taking care of people, serving people is a challenging task. And as a wellness business owner, you have committed to serve people.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of energy that you have coming your way. So you do want to price yourself accordingly. And on top of that, I love, you know, giving people something to aspire to, helping them to raise their standards, right?
Mm.
Pricing low does not empower people to raise their standards, give them something to look forward to.
Mm.
Um, that reminds me of the story I was sharing with you last night, real quick. I was listening to the Taylor Welch podcast, The Deep End, and he was saying that when I was telling you about what he said about the Corollas and the Ferrari,
Yeah.
it was a
Yeah.
quick blurb. I don't know what he was talking about, but I just started to think about it a little bit more. And he said, you people have, what's the difference between, there's many differences, y'all, but we just gonna use this. What's the difference between the Ferrari and the Corolla? And he was asking his co-host. And so he said, most people think it's the price. They think, oh, it's the price that is the difference. And while that is a factor, Corolla makes 10 million cars a year. Ferrari, I think he said, makes 500 a year. So already the perceived value is different, because I might lose out if I don't, put my name on the waiting list or get this whole thing. Ooh, note after this, when we have our call about the waiting list, we're supposed to
Oh,
make
yes.
sure you
Yeah,
add that to the
I'm
list
writing them.
for us to run through.
Mm-hmm.
So the Ferrari is the more sought after one, even though there's less of it. But Toyota Corolla makes 10 million a year, but they're not the most sought after. Nobody is seeking after a Corolla, because a Corolla always gonna be there,
Gonna be
right? And
everywhere.
so
Mm-hmm.
now, and it's more accessible. So a Corolla might be, or a Camry might be, I don't know, 30,000, 40,000. I really don't know what Corollas are these days. My old mind says 15, 20,000, but I don't think that's the case
I
anymore.
know. I don't even know.
Yeah, so there's less like clamoring down to get it. And just looking at that already, you already think to yourself, wow, Ferrari must be important, because they only produce 500 a year while Corolla produces 10 million. There's so many things we can go into with that, but we're just going to leave that right there for you. And so you're only going to be able to approve the best of the best, or get the best of the best, when it comes to like Ferrari. But Corolla, anybody can get it.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody don't even want Corolla. Many of the people who should be buying Corolla, they trying to up their game so they could get a Ferrari. You see that
Yeah,
aspiration right there?
yeah.
Mm.
That's the truth. That is the
All right.
truth. That is so funny. I was thinking, I'm going to take 2 steps back real quick, because I know we were talking about pricing and all of that and value. So you can't just raise your prices just to raise your prices. You need to be giving additional value as you raise your prices. So when we talk about what we have done and how prices have gone up 5 times, it's because we have increased value significantly. And
Wait, hold on.
mm,
Hold on. Hold on. Additional value. Hold on. Let's talk about this, because there's going to be people who think they got to add a bunch of stuff. We
mm,
actually did that. So when using the word additional value, I don't think we need to add additional value. I think the value has just increased, Michelle. You've dared to go the extra mile. You've dared to go to places where everybody ain't willing to go.
mm,
So are you actually doing more things? No. You actually doing less things, but you're doing them at a higher level.
come
Let's
on,
go.
come on
You're
now.
not doing more things. You're doing less things at a higher
Level.
value. You are becoming
Yes.
Ferrari instead of Corolla. Corolla has to do a bunch of things and tell you about all these gizmos and gadgets in there. Ferrari is Ferrari, baby. We got
Yes.
less stuff in a Ferrari than in a Corolla.
Mm-hmm.
It's less stuff in a Ferrari than in a Corolla, but everything about the Ferrari is more valuable. It's more genuine.
Mm-hmm.
The leather, where it's from, the transmission, all the things. So you're not doing more. You have identified and honed in on what you provide. That's what makes you more valuable.
Yes.
That's
So when I
why you're
said more
raising the
value,
price.
I didn't say more work, more
Let's
value.
go!
Oh, this is good. This was good. Did we talk about all 3? That's the inside joke. Oh my gosh. I think I shared it on here at one of the podcasts, right? Didn't I? I think I did.
You did. And no, we did not get to number 3 yet. So 3
Oh,
mistakes wellness businesses are making to create value, because everybody talks about value, value, value. one, they don't understand value.
Mhm.
Two, they do not understand pricing psychology. They're
Mhm.
pricing from their past perceived voids. And then number three, I have an idea of what number three would be, but what would you think number three would be? I wonder if we're going to say the same thing.
Mm. One is not understanding value. Two, pricing themselves incorrectly. And
Let me
three,
just say it. Let me just say it.
not focusing on results.
Mm-mm.
Okay, go ahead.
Not knowing your target audience.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We didn't say that. I don't know why I thought we said that. Okay,
Oh, no, we
yes.
talked about it. We talked
Mm-hmm.
about it. But
Mm-hmm.
not knowing your target audience.
Mm-hmm. It
And then,
is
but I would like
complicated.
to hear, where you were going to go with not focusing on results.
So when people are giving value or feel that they're giving value, but they're doing the whole presentation mode and not really focused on what that individual or what that audience would want to see as the change happening within them, that is like you're doing this presentation kind of for yourself, but you're not really allowing people to envision what could occur for them. So that's what I was thinking. But no, you're right.
I like
That's
that. That should go under value.
mm,
Under value, not focusing on results definitely goes under not understanding what value is. And
mm-hmm.
then number three would be not knowing your target audience. And the reason I thought that should be number three, because that's exactly what we focus on in the Holistic Business Network and our inner circle.
Yeah, and it serves us very well because it really attracts those who are in alignment with us. We're not just talking to everybody and then having to sift through that and then narrow down from there. We're really attracting those who are in more alignment with us.
And we help bring the audience of those that are ripe and ready for holistic, all natural, science-based or science-backed health and wellness tools, tips, teachings, messages, and modalities. And we help our members mainstream their message,
Mm-hmm.
mainstream their influence, and mainstream their profits. Because as I said earlier, caring for others, being a servant in the wellness business deserves compensation at a high level. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we made it to number three.
That's good.
I'm
That's
gonna go back and
good.
watch this. This was good. I need
I
to write these
know.
down. Girl, they need
Let's
to
see if
go
my
in the
phone
book. This stuff need to go in the book.
This is really good. I was thinking about that for all of all the lives we've done so far. So yeah, we're gonna compile this. This is some good
Let's
stuff.
go. We lit. I ain't said that
We
in a
lit
minute.
out
We
here.
lit out here.
Expansive conversations in 2025.
Let's go. All right. Well,
Expansion. While
close us
everyone else
out
is
for
talking.
tonight. What's happening tonight?
Oh, tonight is our holistic health and wellness networking experience. The first one we're doing for 2025 here in South Florida. It's happening at
Really?
6:30. It's the first one. We did have the business luncheon. We had a business luncheon in January, but we haven't had one of these yet. So this is the first one in South Florida. We had one in Myrtle Beach a few weeks ago. So tonight is the night. Let me tell you, tonight is going to be so good.
You need to do a
Between the
post that says, I know a lot of y'all sit back and wait thinking you're going to get an opportunity to come to another one, but this has been the first one, and I actually don't know when we're going to do another one.
I know,
So
yeah, there's so many demands on things that people want to partner with us on that there's a little bit of a shift and a delay in this one. And honestly, I don't know when we're going to have the next one because we have already been requested to do 2 events in June, and it's not one of these. And these events, people leave these events fired up, like the
Lit.
connections they made. But we got a stretch lounge happening. Dr. Tania is stretching out people. We got Pause, which is a whole wellness center coming. They're
Oh
bringing
my God,
compression
I
therapy.
forgot Paz was coming.
Oh yeah. We've got Atlas Clinics with their sound wave technology. We have so many amazing businesses. Oh, we've got natural feminine products, like so many good things. But not only that, we are going to have the reveal of the newest edition of the Feel Well
It's
magazine.
not a reveal.
It is a reveal because no one's seen it yet.
It's
I'm
a
going to be,
preview. It's a
it's a
preview.
It's a preview. You're going to get to preview the newest upcoming edition. We got a huge announcement we're making tonight. Huge announcement tonight. Like if you're in the room, you actually probably going to benefit from this huge announcement if you're in the room. Those of you not in the room, sorry, you're not going to get that benefit. But that is that. There's a lot going to happen in this event tonight. I was saying to Q, wow, it's going to be jam packed, so much fun. Come in. We got Tower Club catering the food. We've got a welcome drink for everyone attending. Like it's going to be amazing. It's going to be fire.
All right,
So tonight, Tower Club 6:30.
let's cheese.
We're closing out.
Let's cheese for a picture. All right, that should be easy for you to clip.
Did you click? Did you take the picture?
No, I did that so when you go to find it,
okay.
you can find it easily.
Okay. Thank you. Because I was like, I didn't hit. Okay, yes. And then are we closing out with our phrases?
Oh my God, I don't remember mine.
I don't remember.
Did I
remember mine either.
write it down? Oh, I wrote it down. I wrote it down.
Oh my gosh. I don't think I probably wrote mine down somewhere else, but I always have a million papers in front of me.
Yours was about growth and expansion.
Yes, it was because we said it on the podcast too, right?
Yeah.
It's probably my notes. It's in my notes. Okay, I got it.
You didn't have your notebook out that day.
No, my I put it in my notes on my phone. That's what I gotta do for everything. Right. It's not in this note. So do you want to go first? Hold on. I haven't found mine yet. And
We're going to be ready next time, y'all, when we're closing out.
I know today's going to be a jam-packed day, so we don't have it all together, but this was still a really great conversation. So, okay, I'll start first. In all honesty, not sure what mine is because I don't see it and I don't want to hold you guys up. But I will close out with saying the future of business is
the future of wellness.
The future of wellness is expansive and oh Lord, I don't know what I'm talking about. You just close us out. I'm done. My brain is, I can't.
Poverty season of the mind, body, and business is officially over. The only one that needs to know it is you. So make your next move your best move.
Love it. That was fire. All right, guys. Have a good one. If you're going to be in the house tonight, see you at the Tower Club at 6:30. All right. Bye.